I'm always a sucker for a war drama and a spy thriller, and this one just happens to be both, and Ian Fleming himself is somewhere in the mix? In 1943, during World War II, two British intelligence officers use a corpse and false papers to outwit German troops, making them believe the Allied forces are attacking through Greece rather than Sicily. But before I properly start with my review for Operation Mincemeat, I want you to let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. Have you ever heard of this story? Have you read the book? Anything and everything down there. And if you like movies and TV, this is the place to be, so consider clicking that subscribe button so you don't miss any future conversations on your favorite movies and TV. And I want to thank Warner Brothers UK for granting me a chance to watch this one early so I could give you this review. This is one of those films that you're probably guessing what I'm about to say. I went in very blind. All that I knew really was the genre and a little bit of the cast, primarily Colin Firth and Matthew Macfadyen. And these two gentlemen are easily the standouts in the film. They both deliver tour de force performances. Their presence on screen is commanding, and they have this really interesting chemistry about these two strangers that start in this mission that no one else really believes in, and they formulate this fragile, complicated, but nevertheless earnest friendship throughout this mission. But that is not to sell anyone else in the cast short. From Jason Isaacs to Penelope Wilton, Kelly Macdonald, they're all here. They're all fantastic, and the film illustrates the complex morality of what these people have to deal with through these very dark times. When the film starts, you get a really good sense of how everyone's lives have been affected by the war up until that point, and what brings all these characters into the mission. And throughout the film, you explore the fragility of trust between these people that are brought together, and the film deals with that with great nuance. But it's not exactly the common war drama per se. It never goes as dark as you probably expect, particularly once you hear that this is a real life story, once you know that this is a real life spy story, which is one of the things I most enjoyed about this film, is that it really dives into the detailed intricacies of putting a mission such as this together, and it really illustrates very well at what points it could go wrong, how it could go wrong, so then when it tries to explore the tension that emerges from how fragile a mission like this is, you feel that tension on screen. But it's not this very dour and sour, dark, moody drama. There's a lot of charm here. There's a lot of good humor, particularly coming from Matthew Macfadyen's character, but there's also a ton of heart. It's not that it isn't a dramatic film, I just expected a lot darker of a film, and I didn't get that. To me, that really worked, but it might not work for others. And speaking of things that might not work, and in this case did not work for me, is that the film could have used a tighter script. It wants to do a lot, explore a big time frame, and with a lot of characters, all of them with interesting, compelling interpersonal relationships, and by the end you feel like a lot of them were not explored fully. When it comes to Matthew Macfadyen and Colin Firth, that's all well and good. Kelly Macdonald, all well and good. But then there are a lot of other characters that are just very surface level. There are a lot of dangling plot threads by the end of this film. There's a lot of lip service paid to the notion that Colin Firth's brother in this film, played by Mark Gatiss, who just seems like he has to be present in every British production. There's a lot of lip service paid to the fact, oh, he might be a Russian sympathizer. That never gets resolved, that never actually gets explored besides people mentioning that every now and then. And you have a ton of plot threads like that that just feel like they're left hanging by the end of the film. There's even a romantic subplot that I don't know if it was in the book, if it was part of the real story, maybe both, maybe neither, but didn't feel like it belonged in this film, didn't feel like it was the correct course to take with these characters, and just felt jarring that it was in this film in such a manner. And I thought there were better ways to create friction and conflict between the members of this task force assembled to create this ruse for the German. The mission itself was compelling enough. The fragility and all the million ways it could have gone wrong was the thing to focus on. And despite these characters being compelling, the film just felt that it tried so hard at making them so when they already were, with the problems and issues that were presented from the beginning of the film. And so it introduces all these things, but never quite satisfyingly explores them or even resolves them. Also, because of that charm, that quirkiness, that the film seems to want to bring some levity to it without ever getting truly very dark, I felt the film didn't have the best handle on the tonal shifts. Even though individually they work, you feel a little bit jarred by the sense of humor of the film. And last but not least, I mentioned that Ian Fleming was in this film, and he was a member of the mission, but it feels awkward that he's there in the sense that the film doesn't focus on him. He's not even a secondary character, I'd say. He's probably better described as tertiary. And it's weird, because you have this interesting person who is observing how this mission is put together. He's writing a story as the mission is happening, as he observes what these people do, how they do it, how they accomplish their mission, and he's very invested on the mission's success. But the film is not about him, and that felt weird how he kept coming in and out, presenting a very interesting, compelling story to be told, but he was never the focus. And whenever he showed up, it got distracting. But while Operation Mincemeat does not have the tightest script or tonal consistency, it makes up for it by focusing on the delicate intricacies of a real-life spy story and the camaraderie that emerges even in the darkest of times, with Colin Firth and Matthew Macfadyen delivering true tour de force performances. I'm giving Operation Mincemeat a B-. But those are only my thoughts on Operation Mincemeat. I want you to let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. If you've seen it, if you're excited, if you read the book, anything and everything down there. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you once more to Warner Brothers UK for granting me a chance to watch this one early. And thank you to my channel members, Bruna and Stuart, for making this video possible. I have a ton of reviews right now up on the channel that you'll enjoy if you enjoyed this one, including episode reviews for Moon Knight. My review for Secrets of Dumbledore is out, and I also reviewed every Fantastic Beasts movie ahead of that one. So go check that out. I hope to see you there and in any other future video that I have up very soon. And so until the next one, love each other and love the movies.